Okay, we're going to start recording now. I know a lot of people are going to join via recording at a later time, but wanted to go. I know Taryn is hosting this. She'll let people in as they join. There is a bit of a different process as in joining. I don't know if that's causing some delays, but just want to let everyone know this is the fourth of four in the series on interviewing InsureTechs and how they're changing the landscape in the warranty business. We've heard from a number of other CEOs from companies, and today we have Mark Nagelvoort, who is CEO of PCMI. And Mark, why don't we, if you can tell us a little bit about your background and what your path was to the warranty business.
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting us. I've actually been in this business for quite some time. I actually started when I was 23, which is just a couple of years ago, but we've seen a lot of change in the industry over the number of years. And in 2012, we founded PCMI to really bring the next wave of InsureTech technology to this space, right? And we've been pretty successful at it. We're looking to grow even more.
Great. And so you have a little bit of a background. You're out of Chicago. Initially, you were a CPA, right?
Well, I started with Arthur Young Company, which is now Ernst & Young, so it was an accounting firm. But no, I've always been in the tech side of it. Okay. Way back when I got my bachelor's and master's in computer science. But what we focus on is helping administrators, people that want to be administrators, be more efficient and closer to their customers with the new technology. And what we find is that when we look at the market, we have to sort of break the market up between your large international OEMs. So for instance, Nissan Infiniti is a PCMI customer, all the way down to your mid-tier market, all the way down to, maybe it's a father and son and four people that want to have an administration company for a specific market sector. And I think what I'm most proud of with our team is we actually accommodate all three different groups, really in four different markets. We have what we call the transportation sector or automotive. We have home warranty, we have consumer electronics, and we have what we call carrier cell phone space, right? And with our platform, we can actually work with all four different sectors.
Can you tell us a little bit about PCMI? Where is your footprint right now? You already kind of told us a little bit about your market.
Sure, absolutely. I think the thing we're proudest with is the success we've been able to do with our customers. We're really a back-end platform for somebody that wants to bring a product to market. And that could be an extended warranty. It could be prepaid maintenance, appearance protection. So in the transportation sector, if we say automotive, we're actually in 30,000 dealerships today, which is a pretty large number between US, Canada, and Brazil, right? But that's through our customers who sign them up to sell their products, right? And then in the home warranty and consumer space, I think a lot of people know that we're very helpful to help get Extend launched, OnPoint launched. Obviously, Hornbeam, we're happy to have you as a customer as our product, but we're very much a platform that somebody uses to bring their product to the market. And that's really what we specialize in. So a lot of times people are using us and they've got no idea that PCMI is the engine that enables it, because it's a branded solution that we let our customers brand in their own name.
I've noticed, I'm on LinkedIn every once in a while. I noticed you've been traveling quite a bit. You're supporting organizations in Europe and elsewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, I think what the same platform we use to support our largest customers is used by our smallest customers. We now have what we call our PCRS Quick Launch, where if you want to, launch as an administrator, but you understand the business, and somebody not asking us what is an extended warranty, but maybe somebody's been selling extended warranties, or they have another platform and they want to replace it, and they want to just put their new business on us. With our quick launch, we've actually launched people in 10 weeks, both in Canada and the United States, right? On the other extreme, you have these very large administrators, which, we publicly were allowed to talk about Nissan, so I use Nissan. That's an 18-month implementation effort by the time you completely do a conversion, and you're talking, millions of policies and thousands of dealerships, and you're doing not just the policy system, but the claim system, but the complete backend. So I really love that we can work with the nimble players. And I think the big trend, which we're going to talk about, is we see actually more people want to be closer to their customer. We see a complete shift away from I'm calling up a call center to get approval from somebody, to where we want to instantly get the same way we easily bought the warranty. We want our claim service that easily as well. And our technology enables somebody to offer that. So we're really an enabler. We don't market an extended warranty product. People use our platform to be able to offer add-on services to their customers. And one type of our product is an extended warranty.
When you say add-on services, for example, I think of warranty because that's the market I play in. And it maybe for you, it's the 800-pound gorilla. I don't know what other services.
Yeah, so what we encourage you to do is think about every product needs an add-on service. So we feel, and I guess we took our family money pretty heavily in 2012 and bet on this, was that nobody's going to be able to make money selling a product, because basically we just felt that Amazon and other e-retailers were just going to continually drive the availability of a product. So you have to think about, what are you going to attach to that product that when you're selling it is going to allow your distribution channel to increase customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, as well as allow them to make some money. And for us, that could be an extended warranty is obvious, but just as important is we have total loss protection. You have theft protection only, right? You have, obviously we talk about extended being for breakage, but there's loyalty products where, if you bought multiple products from a customer, comes with a loyalty product. So if you have a chance to look at our website, there's actually 17 different financial products that are within the InsureTech family that we enable, even to the point on a high-end ticket, like buying cars. Right now, everybody's got a job, or most people have a job, but we went through high periods of unemployment. It was a big benefit to say, if you involuntarily lose your job, to buy a car, we will cover payments for 6 months. So no matter what that additional add-on product is, we want to be the engine to support it.
Okay.
And the appearance protection industry is become massive. When you go to a furniture store, you're not really buying an extended warranty on a couch. Typically, what you're buying is that in the event that the fabric rips, spills, tears, they'll protect the appearance of the product. So that's why I use the word add-on.
Got it. I'm going to kind of, how do you define InsureTech? Everyone seems to have their own definition, and I've yet to see one consistent one out there. But from your perspective,
so the first place we started was we looked at a specialty lines compliance process, right? That a lot of people want to be able to have a good customer relationship, offer these products for sale, make sure that the claim is fulfilled to the customer satisfaction, and they are really doing an administration either themselves or with what we call a third-party administrator. But behind all that is all the risk management of that. Have you adequately reserved it? Is it legally compliant? Is the form valid in that state? So, we really look at it also as a specialty lines insurance offering that's been made so simple, people don't think of it as insurance. But every time you buy a cell phone that's got loss protection, there's an insurance component in it, right? And when you collect money to do a future service, you should have a reserve, a set aside to make sure you can adequately define and pay for those services in the future, right? So we do insure, meaning it's got an insurance component, and then obviously the tech, which to us is the enablement. And then, as you know, Dan, these rules and processes change in every state and every country. So what we're proud of is we can automate it and make it simple.
So, how would you say InsureTechs are really changing? Maybe from two perspectives: the customer experience, and then the overall market efficiency.
So I would say that the consumer is the one changing it all, right? The way they want to buy and the way they want to be serviced. If you were to roll back the clock, it was very common to purchase an extended warranty, and then you were given a number to call every time your item would break or you needed service. You didn't take it back to the place you bought it, or how you bought the extended warranty was disconnected from how you would be serviced. So what we see today is if you enabled it by selling it as a simple attachment in the online shopping experience, make sure you can take the claim electronically through the consumer as well. So we see a vast growth in these add-on products, and that's why I call them add-on products, right? Where people love these products. I mean, what's interesting to me is if they buy it on their phone, they buy it on their car, they may not be interested in just an extended warranty, but they may be interested in tire and wheel or appearance protection, or they're worried about what if my car's stolen and I got a loan outstanding? How do I cover the shortfall? What if it's a total loss of my vehicle and I got an outstanding loan, right? So we feel there is a product for everybody in a purchase. So we encourage people to think about getting over 100% penetration, not a 30 to 40 on just the extended warranty. But however you sold it to them, customers are asking to be serviced that way. So for interesting, and these are all on our website that you can see is if you were to total your car on a Friday, we did a project with Southeast Toyota JM&A, where you can actually file your claim on Saturday night. You can actually jump on a portal, file the police report, say, here's the loan value, here's the additional data. To shrink that time frame by 40 to 50%. And if customers bought products that way, they like to be serviced all the time. They don't want to hear that they have to wait till Monday morning to make a phone call or send in an email. So that's changing in InsureTech, where we're responding to the demands of the customer. And then when the sales happen so quickly in that area, then the other people are trying to catch up.
Yeah, I think you hit on two important points. The shift in the market of purchasing insurance online versus in person. And all of this has been expedited or accelerated by the pandemic. And the second part is the ability for those people who buy online to go online to start, they have the same expectation, not to call it, for lack of a better term, good old fashioned call center, which we all know there are labor shortages and long wait times and shortened hours right now, especially during the pandemic.
And what InsureTechs really enabled was we've been able to lower the cost of administration. These products are price sensitive, right? And consumers really ask themselves, okay, I understand the benefits, but am I getting a fair value? So we've been able to lower the cost of the administration, and we've been able to lower, before, I'd say 3 years ago today, we can actually put a warranty on a $15 part, which could be a couple dollar warranty very cost effectively with our new technology, right? Or before, people would say, how could you make that kind of a market? So if you can integrate directly to the point of sale systems, which we enable our customers to do, you make it very easy to sell these products. And when you get high volume, you don't get the anti-selection. So there's definitely a definite trend that if you can get the higher volume in the sales, your profitability is much better than just selling it to people who, are really, maybe a smaller group may not give you enough volume to make the program profitable.
Right. I know that, some people coin it as the ability of bringing Apple Care to all OEMs. And Apple takes, a great amount of pride in being able to not just sell at the point of sale and then let people walk away, but to support that customer throughout the life cycle of the product.
Yeah, I can tell you what really influenced me the most was in 2011. I actually met with some consumer electronics retailers. And I tried to understand what were they doing for their customer experience. And what really came back from them was, we know if we take care of this customer, he's going to buy more product from us. And really what they wanted was they wanted that ability. And when we saw the Apple Care take off, we're like, well, here's one of the most successful organizations out there, Apple. We all could buy our cell phone protection, handset protection through the phone company. But what would happen is the phone would break. You'd call an 800 number. They'd tell you to put your broken phone in a box. We're going to ship you out another phone. Then you were stuck trying to redo all your data back over to the new device. And it was an older solution, but it was a solution. But when Apple launched Apple Care, they're like, you're my customer. Bring it back to our store. We're going to take care of you. It's going to get repaired with a genuine product with general OEM parts. What happened? I buy it. I actually buy Apple Care myself, right? I actually buy extended warranties on all my laptops. So what's really important about the InsureTech offering is you need to make sure you understand that what you're really offering to a customer is convenience, right? And you're offering to him brand acknowledgement. And so I think enabling anybody to offer an Apple Care program is one of the things we're really proud to be able to say. And that means you can be using third-party administrators to do certain things, as well as the person deciding to do some of it self-managed, a combination of the two things.
Got it. Got it. You know, you hear a lot about servitization and, you know, loyalty, you know, having that ongoing relationship. Do you have a lot of, do you see a lot of the trend moving towards evergreen type programs throughout the product?
I think more important than the evergreen is looking at if the person bought 2 cars from us in a row or 3 cars from us in a row, and we have what we call goodwill claims, you're going to approve it, right? You're going to approve every claim that should be approved, but sometimes you get your marginal claims, right? So the evergreens, which for people joining is really where you pay a monthly subscription. So instead of paying an upfront premium that lasts for maybe 2 years or 3 years, it's a monthly program that continues forever. As long as you continue to pay it, you have more coverage, right? There's no question that we've seen a lot of interest in the evergreens. And that if you can tie an evergreen to an existing billing process, it seems to be a lot more successful than giving a customer a standalone bill at the end of the month. So I think when you look at the utility companies, I think a lot of people forget that they're paying for an extended warranty or line protection as part of their monthly bill. Homeowners companies are actually attaching home warranties as an additional premium. Those evergreens are, to me, sort of slam dunk opportunities. But for a lot of people, if they're selling a purchase of an item, you know, there are some subscriptions, but we still see it as the initial is a premium for a period of time. I think what the huge InsureTech opportunity is to do the follow-up with the customer with the automated renewals and the continuation of support.
Right. You know, I've heard a lot of talk about, you know, IoT devices and personally, I've heard a lot of talk about how it has the ability of doing a paradigm shift with the warranty market, where the third-party administrator or the OEM itself knows that Dan Tapple's refrigerator or HVAC system is the filter hadn't been changed or the coils hadn't been cleaned. Literally, it's about to fail. Have you started seeing that play into it yet, or are we still kind of at the
Well, we're going to have a whole webinar just on that topic alone. And I guess, you know, I'm really encouraged by what I see in the marketplace, right? I mean, I just see tremendous growth in the add-on product industry. And I think that there's tremendous opportunity in IoT in a business-to-business relationship. Typically, a lot of the extended warranties and theft protection products are really a business to a consumer, right? But if you look at businesses like truck drivers, if you look at businesses like hospitals, their major cost is when a piece of equipment is not working, it affects their ability to generate their profits on a continuous basis. So let's say that you implement IoT with an embedded extended warranty, and it comes up and says you have a 70% chance of failure, right? So you think, well, we should go ahead and authorize that claim expense now, right? But it also means you have a 30% chance of not having a failure, right? So to me, what swings everything is that the value of that agreement is continuous service for that operator. And certainly in any business to business, right? That continuous service has got a high value. So although we don't see a lot of it, I think it's a tremendous trend in the future to integrate IoT when there's a business to business relationship. I'm just not sure about the business to consumer, right? And how do you pick up that additional expense when the thing's still working?
Right, right. Well, I want to also call everyone's attention. In the chat room is opened up. If you have any questions, for Mark that you want to ask directly, feel free to uh, type a quick little note in the in the chat room, and we'll call on you to ask directly. Do you see yourself? Do you see OEMs beginning to kind of compete with retailers a little bit in this space? With how's this affecting the future of retail?
Well, I mean, there's no question if you looked at AppleCare directly competed with some of the like the Assurians of the world, right? People who were typically doing the handset protection through their phone carrier. I think the good news is that the popularity of the products have increased, and it's still growing, right? And again, I encourage people to think about it as an add-on product. What are the additional add-on products, right? So for instance, in the cell phone carrier space, a lot of people like the upgrade programs that I can actually upgrade my phone to a newer make and model. It just, which is a different kind of a policy, right? Or I'm really just interested in if the screen breaks, I'm not, because I'm more price conscious, right? So I think there's more than enough market for everybody. But there's no question in my mind that the more people are going to be becoming involved, the more people are going to want to be involved with the customer contact and having more direct customer contact. And that could be the point of sale location, that could be the OEM, or that could even be what we call the third party administrator. But luckily it's a growing market, so there's more than enough room for everybody.
Right, right. Well, it seems to be strengthening the hand of the OEM to have a direct relationship with the consumer, or whoever the end user is, whether it be a commercial entity or whether it be a consumer.
We find it all over the board. So your example of the AppleCare is 100%. In that example, it's a direct relationship between Apple and their consumer. But as you know, Apple still uses an insurance company. And around the world, they don't have that program in every country around the world. They've got it in a lot of countries, and it's expanding, right? But there's still a very good, healthy extended warranty market for the actual phone carriers themselves, right? When we look at the way I try and look at it is, how do you distribute your products, right? And how are you marketing your core product? And that distribution channel, you want to make sure you enable them to be able to offer these add-on products on your behalf, right? So even if you buy it at an AT&T store, it's the AT&T salesperson selling you that AppleCare. So what I think is being said is, if you're an OEM and you're not involved in the design and management of these programs, I think you're going to be left behind. But how you bring those products to market could be through a TPA, it could be through a direct channel, it could be through your distribution channel. And there's no question that if you don't do it through the distribution channel, those same OEMs are turning around with an after program, a direct program post-sale effect. And for the benefit of the consumer, you're better off having that being a coordinated effort. There's nothing more frustrating to have one and it gets solicited for a different price for what you perceive to be a different value, right?
Right, right. So, Mark, when you talk about kind of the role that PCMI plays in the InsureTech, you play kind of also in the offering role, like a sales role, but also as a claim role, like as a third party admit. You basically, and would it be right to say you automate the TPA process?
Yeah. So what I would say is we allow a TPA to typically process 2 or 3 times the volume they were processing before I got our system. But where you have to be careful is PCMI doesn't have a single claims adjuster. We don't do the actual claims process. They use our software to automate how they want to run their claims process. And they use our software to enable sales, but they will typically add a front end, something that's they've built on top of our sales solution. Or for instance, in the automotive space, we integrate into 70 different automotive platforms. So the way to look at PCMI is we're really the backbone engine, and we offer both a platform as a service, and since Extend did a Warranty Week article, we can talk about Extend. Extend built a proprietary interface on top of PCMI's platform, so they could bring their own product to market. We're just really the back end platform, right? So we really help align the insurer with all the regulation and all the rules, and we're the back end engine. But yes, we go to the point of sale. But that point of sale interface, usually our clients have rebranded that and developed an interface on top of it. And then they use our claim system to process claims. But again, they could have a front end to it. So if I'm helpful, really think of us as we're a platform that you can use to enable you to do really advanced administration easily.
We have a question. Kiram, you want to unmute yourself and you can ask the question directly to Mark?
Sure. Thank you. Hi, Mark. Great webinar. My question is, there's a perception in the market that the early batch of tech-driven warranty companies such as SquareTrade already solved the customer experience problem. What differences do you see between the SquareTrade generation and the current generation of InsureTechs? So kind of going back into the question that you were already answering earlier.
Yeah, so, we call SquareTrade friends, so I want to be a little careful on the answer. SquareTrade did an awful lot to really advance the industry, I feel, right? I think they did a lot of good things, right? But if you look at some of the newer entrants, you could see that, and this is all public, Extend got a 1.6 billion evaluation after 2 years. So they really hit a different market than, to me, the SquareTrade market, right? So what I want to be careful of, I still think there's a ton of innovation, and it's a big industry out there, right?
Right. And I think we would all agree, to your point, there's a ton of space, but honestly, there's a ton of room for efficiency. There are a lot of very inefficient ways, that I've seen in some of these OEMs, retailers, in a number of different industries where, to your point, you said 40 to 50%, I think it was a figure you used.
Well, one of the things that I guess we're out to solve for people is we're shocked. If you look at the industry, probably, we have 160 developers working on the platform on 3 continents around the clock, right? Which is a pretty good sized group, right? And that's all about being able to offer these products at a better cost advantage, right? Because we have a very low cost for that system to enable an administrator actually to be leaner, right? What's shocking to me is 50% of the industry is still trying to custom develop solutions and trying to stay on this technology curve. And you ask them how many people you got allocated for them, 30 to 50 people would be a lot. And I'm like, I can't do it with 30 to 50 people. So obviously I'm extremely biased, right? But the demands are all over. I mean, people want more access. They want consumer interfaces. They want better retail interfaces. They want to be able to offer multiple products. Right. So, I think that's where some of these people that maybe they made one jump, but they're trying to figure out, well, how do we do like a device trade-in program? How do we do an uplift program? Or are we going to make that carrier work with 3 to 5 different companies? Right. How do we do it? What we call is basically here at my last seminar, we call it really the hub, right? Which is where you can have the full inventory of consumer-based products offered to a consumer.
I see. So, I'm looking at how InsureTechs relate to insurance companies. I think I came from AIG, large company, and for some of these large companies, you're not nimble, you're not quick, you're not a technology company. You're an insurance company, and so technology doesn't always come so naturally. And what do you currently the relationship with insurance companies, but more importantly, do you think that insurance companies will eventually want to buy some of these InsureTechs? Is that kind of the thought? Or?
Well, it seems like everybody's trying to buy today. It's shocking to me how much capital is chasing a few companies, right? I think what the market has shown is that insurance companies do buy InsureTechs, and then they transform them to be a department of an insurance company. And all the reasons they bought them within 5 years tends to go away, right? So I think what we do well as InsureTechs is every 2 weeks we have to pay all our staff. So every 2 weeks we have to make sure we're more relevant to our customers. There's a lot of pressure to make sure that you're relevant, right? And that you keep that growth going. So what I can tell you is what I'm proud of is a lot of the major insurance companies have adopted the PCMI platform so that they can quickly bring up administrators. Right? I mean, they've looked at this process and said, it makes sense. we feel comfortable as an insurer knowing that all the data is in an audited platform and a SOC compliant platform. And if we're going to take the insurance risk, we like knowing that that data is actually in a package versus some other homegrown offering. So part of our strategy is to align insurers who want to be in the space with administrators who want to offer these products, and that administrator can be an OEM, the administrator could be a third-party administrator, right? But we're seeing more players get in the space, not less.
Right. My next question, really, I think you kind of answered, but I just want to drill down on it. Do you think InsureTechs are they changing or are they just changing the current market, or do you think they're expanding the market?
I think what's happening is that the market is gotten more competitive, not less, right? Like the caller brought up like Square Trade, for example, right? And Square Trade really displaced a lot of other people that maybe weren't as cost efficient from the consumer standpoint. People can say, why was that so successful? But you know, what I see is that you have to provide a good value in these products that the consumer is more educated than ever, right? So you have to make sure you provide the value. So what InsureTech is responding to is making sure that there's the right product for that customer. You know, the thing I like most about Amazon is when I go do a search for a product, it doesn't show me every product that ever existed. It sort of looks at me as a person and tries to figure out what is the right products for this person based upon the query that they're doing. And they give you a couple choices, right? So in the automotive space, we've had some major companies that made a whole living out of, well, what products should be presented? If we got 17 different products to offer this consumer, how do we put that into a package as part of the finance agreement? That was a whole industry on its own, right? That we end up supporting, right? And we see the same thing happening on the consumer side. We see artificial intelligence being used as a tool that if you're going to have product library, what is the right product to present to this consumer?
Do you what do you think is you know, from your perspective as a technology provider, what is the next kind of the next wave? Where do you think the next opportunity is for InsureTechs? You know, we've seen them slowly creep into the market, and you're kind of a, you know, from my perspective, you're the engine behind InsureTechs, quite frankly. But what do you see as the next efficiency or customer experience? Or
yeah, so I guess we see a couple of different things. First of all, the people who like these products like them in everything. So if I buy an extended warranty on my car, I'm going to want one on my phone. You know, if I like loss protection, appearance protection, you know, and right now, so the ability to cross sell, we see a lot more. Once a person's an existing customer, how do we get their other devices? How do we get the other things that this person's shopping for? And then how do we do that even at a point of sale? So that's still being figured out, you know, I mean, you know, in terms of how to cross sell and cross market, right? You know, if you look at Geico, for instance, Geico actually offers an extended warranty to their new customers when they're buying a car. So, you know, that's not common, right? But will that become common? Will it become common that more things are associated at point of sale because the technology enables it to happen easier, right? So that's definitely one trend. The second trend is most people are still trying to figure out the technology to offer better fulfillment and have a better customer claims experience. So I think we've got a long way to go there. I think we're way ahead of where we were 5 years ago, but I don't think we're still at the ultimate solution.
yeah, would you say one example? You know, I've seen Audi will market to its customers. I guess it's with Liberty, or I don't know what insurance company, but basically it's a heavy marketing campaign. They know exactly what car you have, what your VIN number is, where you live, everything else. They have that unique opportunity, to your point, cross-selling. You have an insurance company cross-selling with an auto company. Right. It pairs nicely. And quite frankly, the rates are lower. Now, I don't know what the coverages are, but.
Well, I think we're just starting to see the beginning of that trend. I mean, I can tell you, we're all getting used to now. If you go to in the automotive space, there aren't too many cars on dealers' lots today. We're down about 4 million cars, right, than what a normal is, right? So people are getting conditioned more about, you know, trying to find out where is a vehicle available for me to purchase that's got the options. And then when you go to do that shopping experience, there's a lot of technology that came out in the last 5 years that talks about, should we be trying to offer these add-on products at that point? But when you walk into the dealership and you've agreed to do that, the software tools they have don't really talk very well to those tools that were used to pre-get you into there, right? So I just see a continuation in terms of the number of systems you need to support, the advancements in the customer's buying experience, and then follow-up experience, right? Really driving the customer's desire to purchase these products.
We were talking, about the cross sell and the opportunity to understand more about the consumer from a 360-degree perspective. Right now, home insurance companies know a lot more about the consumer and know a lot more about the, and when I say home insurance, property casualty, know a lot more about that consumer, how big the house is, square footage, that type of thing. That information would be incredibly valuable in the home warranty business. And to your point, they're starting to get into that. Is AI becoming a big, is it starting to make a big difference in the, is that a next wave of cross-selling?
I think we're already starting to see AI be used to help filter the products that should be presented to the consumer. So I think that's starting. I think that'll happen more, but I think we're just in the beginning. I mean, what we've seen as a trend is, first of all, for these things to be successful, we've seen that everybody has a dedicated group of people where that's their mission. So if it's Nissan has Nissan Financial Services, right? You have to have a group where their charter in the organization is to support the head-on products, and that it's an important revenue stream. And how does that happen, right? So right now, I just see that as a huge challenge in a lot of P&C companies. They don't think about forming a separate group or bringing in a TPA that's focused just on that offering. And I think part of the challenge is, at the end of the day, although we think the revenue streams are significant compared to some of their other business, it's still a small piece, right? But I think the bigger trend we're going to see is people like the brand loyalty and brand awareness, and how do we offer more solutions that reinforce that? Right. I think what happened before some of the other cross sells, but I mean, these are areas I think we're going to see a lot of change of in the next 5 years.
Let's just say a car manufacturer, for example, with the AI, is that something that PCMI provides right now, or do you enable their AI, kind of their data on their customer, to help you provide the right offering at the right time for the right
what we found is the best solution right now is those customers, we have what's called our platform as a service option, right? And what they're able to do is take their AI engine and attach it directly to the policy issuance system. So the policy issuance system knows the available products to sell to that customer. What are the legal products in that state? If it's a regulated retail state, it actually dictates then what that regulated retail pricing is. But they want to have that AI layer that actually decides out of that library, how do they present that product with what payment terms and what payment options. And then what happens is each one of our customers can specialize in how they want to bring the product to market, using us as the backbone engine, where they don't have to have the 160 people. You can do a great job with 10 people and designing an AI approach and an AI solicitation system and focus on the sale, and then let us handle the whole back end. And so far, that's been a good answer for both companies.
Got it. We have about 5 minutes left, but I would like to, if you can take a few minutes, kind of help me understand what your vision of PCMI is for 5 years down the road.
Well, we're growing at a pretty good pace, which is good for us. But I think we see supporting more sectors. I mean, we are in the home warranty sector and growing that. We are in consumer electronics, growing that, right? We can't do everything at one time. I think we're known heavily through transportation. We just brought up, 3 administrators that want to focus on heavy duty trucks. We got another one that does farm equipment. So what we want to continue to be is to be the support engine to help somebody fulfill their dreams. My happiest day is I meet with the CEO of a company and he tells me his vision for how he wants to go to market. And then we want to provide the backbone that enables his team to bring that product to market. And that's the channel we want to stay in. Now we want to do it more countries and increase our volume, and we keep expanding our staff, but and then give him a cost advantage of using us that he just can't achieve with an in-house application.
Got it. Got it. Well, Mark, I want to say thank you so much for your time today. I'm not sure if there are any further questions from the group. I know we are recording this, so a lot of people will be viewing it afterwards. We'll provide your contact information on here as well. Actually, why don't you just go ahead and say your email and contact information, so if anyone on the recording wants to reach out to you directly.
And I really want to thank you for having us on internet. Sometimes my passion for the industry gets a little bit ahead of it, but I just see great opportunities for people in the industry, and how we can really grow it. And we're happy to support people trying to do that.
Great, great. Well, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. I know you have a busy schedule, and look forward to seeing you maybe at the next conference here.
Great. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good day.